Good evening and welcome to this week in review. Tonight's stories include Brodie Quick Shop has nearly finished their renovations, Greg Hilliard is here with the BDDB report, Guide Scout Week officially starts today. These stories plus community events, the BBS Playbill, Off the Rack and more coming up after this.
The Government of Canada reminds seniors that it's now easier to renew your guaranteed income supplement or spouse's allowance. Most pensioners will have their benefit renewed automatically by filing an income tax return. However, if you receive a renewal form, complete it and return it as soon as possible. If you have any questions regarding this subject, please call free of charge 1-800-277-9914. Human Resources Development Canada, serving seniors.
The renovations at Brodie Quick Shop is near completion. The new addition to the store has made quite a difference to customers and staff alike. The aisles are considerably wider than before. There is one main shelving unit running down the middle of the store. On this side is where the pop coolers and ice cream coolers are located. The greeting cards and gift wrap is located on the back wall. The other side of the store is sporting new open-face coolers. This coolers will be filled with fresh meat and chicken come Monday, February 21st. A wide variety of fresh fruits and vegetables will be filling this cooler. Brodie Quick Shop is sporting a new counter decorated with 2 cash registers for better customer service. The second register was put in place to handle the overflow of customers that may only have a few items to purchase. The store now has more room for customers to move around without bumping into one another. The outside of Brodie Quick Shop is nearly completed as well. The store has been given a facelift with new siding. A new sign will be placed in this area of the store when it is decided what type of sign best complements the store. The management and staff will agree that the workers did a fine job with this project. If you haven't visited Brodie Quick Shop lately, why not drop by to take a look around? You will be pleased by the new surroundings. Now over to Greg Hilliard for the BDDB monthly report.
Good evening, residents of Burgeo. I'm here again this evening, of course, to report on some of the activities of the Burgeo Diversification Development Board and to fill the residents in on a number of initiatives that have been undertaken over the course of the last month. I have 4 areas of discussion for this evening, and of course the first one is in relationship to the potential of developing a tourism committee for the Burgeo area. The last week we invited a number of individuals from various interest groups and of course the community businesses as well to meet and discuss the potential of forming a tourism committee. We had good representation. There was approximately 12 people from various different sectors in the community involved in the meeting. And from that point, it was decided that we would form a steering committee to look at the potential of putting together a basic constitution and some guidelines to operate a potential tourism committee on. And this group will be meeting actually this coming Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock at the Town Hall. We're hoping that over the course of the next 6 to 8 weeks, the steering committee will meet on a number of occasions. And eventually what we're hoping to do is call a public meeting where we can formally put together a tourism committee which will take care of various types of aspects related to the development of the tourism industry in the Burgeo area. As people know right now, we're affiliated with the Festival Coast Tourism Association, and they have certain resources and initiatives being undertaken from their perspective. However, we all felt at the meeting that it would be very advantageous if the community of Burgeo had its own tourism committee, could be involved in a number of initiatives such as attracting cruise line ships to the area, looking at things like the Viking Millennium, getting involved in that, working with the Sand and Sea Festival Committee, putting together some tour packages that when various groups or individuals wish to visit the area, we have a set of items and attractions that they can visit while they're in the area. And hopefully, of course, at the end of the day, to try and promote Burgeo as a place to come in relationship to tourism. We certainly feel that we have a great area here and lots of tourism potential, and one of the biggest keys is obviously getting out there and promoting the community and all the amenities and things it has to offer. So certainly it's a big challenge. However, there is a lot of opportunities there, both from the economic development side and of course just the idea of promoting the community and the beauty that it has to offer. As you might have known, that over the last number of weeks there's been some activity up in the greenhouse area where the old Henry used to be. There's a group of people up there that during the course of the last 2 to 3 weeks have been volunteering their time to start in on this initiative. We have held numerous discussions with representatives from Human Resource Development as well as ACOA in regards to funding potential for this project, and we feel that we're very close now to having the necessary documents and arrangements made to officially proceed with this activity. I will say that the work being undertaken by these volunteer people have been very positive to date, and we are hoping that quite possibly within the course of the next week or two the various different representatives from these agencies will make their formal announcements and will be advised of the official start date of this project. As most people might know by now, the BDDB has gone into partnership with Air Brothers to look at this development of the greenhouse project, and of course this is a pilot, which will mean that it will run for approximately 12 months, and the whole intent is to determine two things: whether or not tomatoes can grow within the climate of the Burgeo area, and of course to see if it's economically viable to proceed with a full-scale commercial operation. Over the course of the year there will be various monitoring, documentation being done, as well as development in terms of the markets and things such as quality management control programs and other issues that will need to be dealt with in terms of various different government agencies and the requirements of potential marketplace individuals. So we're really very confident and very positive in terms of this initiative. It could very well mean that at the end of the day, if this pilot project is successful, we could see very well up to 3 full-time jobs and potentially approximately 15 to 20 seasonal jobs. So that certainly means a sustainable amount of employment within the region, and it will certainly help diversify our economy substantially. The next issue that we've spent a fair bit of time on last month, and I think the Deputy Mayor might have alluded to it in her presentation and her address this evening, is in regards to the stadium complex. As you're pretty well aware, the members of the committee had a public forum last weekend. During the course of the week, we've monitored the situation and basically gauged what people's interests and thoughts were on the potential of developing the stadium. And I must say, overall, we've received very positive responses. It's to the point now where we are finalizing the draft proposal and presentation. We are hoping that somewhere around the early part of March we'll have the opportunity to meet with the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Recreation, as well as the Minister for Municipal and Provincial Affairs, and do a presentation to those individuals. And of course the whole premise is to try to secure both financial and moral support for this initiative within the community. We have held some discussions with representatives of Human Resources Development in terms of their potential partnership for this initiative, and we feel fairly confident that at the end of the day we should have these partners around the table. Obviously, as I mentioned in our presentation, in terms of the financial situation, ACOA is certainly going to be one of those agencies that we're going to be relying on for a substantial amount of financial assistance, and certainly there will be work done in that area over the course of next month. It is our hope that approximately by the middle of March, if not the latter part of March, proposals and applications would have been sent to all of our potential agencies, and we're hoping that over the course of the next 2 months, which would take us somewhere around the end of part of May, we should know exactly where we stand in terms of any types of financial commitments on behalf of these agencies. So we are certainly proceeding in that area at this point in time, and we hope over the course of the next couple of months that we'll have some very positive announcements to be made in regards to this initiative. I guess the last thing that I'd like to mention this evening is in terms of our projects. As people know, we've had a number of projects over the last couple of months, and right now we've started one more project, which is of course the Coombs Pond Trail development, which will take individuals really from Sandbanks Park all the way around to Erin's Arm, and of course it'll be connected to the Burgeo Road. So it certainly should be a very attractive route for individuals who are into to hiking and walking. We had the opportunity to go out a couple of weeks ago and view the trail area where it would be accessed and the way it will go, and of course the crew has been now on site in that initiative for the last 2 weeks. The project, the snowmobile trail area, access area to Bearsway, has been completed. Unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity due to various weather conditions to get across Grandy's Brook to the Bearsway side to do trail development there. However, the Burgeo side, I'll call it, the trail has all been completed, and from all indications, the work done by the crew has certainly been substantial, and snowmobilers and hikers alike have indicated that it's certainly a job well done and should be an excellent amenity within the community. As a lot of people know, the BDDB has applied for a number of other funding initiatives for short-term employment programs, and over the course of the last couple of weeks we've had the opportunity to meet with representatives of both Human Resource Development and Municipal Affairs to discuss potential funding arrangements. Unfortunately, we've been notified by both agencies that due to the fact that it's close to year end, their budgets for this fiscal year have pretty well been drained, and unfortunately it doesn't appear that we will be able to access any funding until probably sometime in April, mid to probably late April, to proceed with any type of short-term employment opportunities. So I'd just like to let the residents of Burgeo know that we do have a number of initiatives still on the table. We have been informed at this time that funding unfortunately will not be available, not unless some further announcement comes in the way of some type of additional funding. However, we will proceed very vigorously in the new year in terms of when the new budgets come down to try and get some of these short-term initiatives activated. On a final note, I'd just like to encourage anybody that's thinking about starting up some type of small home-based business, a new enterprise within the community, or need assistance in some type of startup of any kind that would be related to community or economic development, certainly don't hesitate to come into our offices. The door is basically always open. However, it would be advisable if somebody is looking that they need to sit down and discuss certain initiatives, and they probably would be better advised to contact the office ahead of time so we can set up an appointment and be there. I wish everybody a good evening, and again, if there's any concerns in these areas in terms of initiative and community development in Burgeo, please don't hesitate to use the services of our office. Good night.
Guide Scout Week will be celebrated February 20th through the 27th. Mayor Ann signed a proclamation to start the week in fine style.
This is February 16th, prior to our regular town council meeting in the town of Burgeo. I have a very honorable duty for the young people of our town, and that is to proclaim a Guide Scout Week. And whereas the mission of the Girl Guides of Canada is to challenge girls to reach their potential and empower them to give leadership and service as responsible citizens of the world. And whereas the mission of both Girl Guides of Canada and Scouts Canada are to be commended in that both organizations teach personal values, respect for the environment, responsible citizenship, and the principle of service. Be it resolved, therefore, that the town of Burgeo recognize the valuable contribution made to the well-being of our community by the Girl Guides of Canada and Scouts Canada by proclaiming the week of February 20th to 27th as Guide Scout Week. Okay?
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. And you have a good week doing Girl Guide Week.
Local Sparks, Brownies, Guides, Pathfinders and adult volunteers join the rest of Guides of Canada, more than 200,000 members, will observe Guide Scout Week from February 20th to the 27th. More than 50 girls and 15 adults participate in guiding in Burgeo. The highlight of Guide Scout Week is Thinking Day on February 22nd. It is the birthday of both Lord Robert Baden-Powell, who founded Boy Scout and Girl Guide organizations, and Olive Baden-Powell, who developed guiding worldwide. The 10 million members of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts in 140 countries around the world give special emphasis to international friendship on Thinking Day. During Guide Scout Week, members of Girl Guides of Canada honor the legacy of Baden-Powell with a special week of activities. The movement in Burgeo will focus on many outdoor activities like sliding, skating and hikes, and they begin their week with a church service and end the week with a guide's own service. With a program based on active learning, Guiding offers unique opportunities for girls and women. Female leadership and role models are essential aspects of guiding. Girl Guides of Canada is a movement for girls led by women. It challenges girls to reach their potential and empowers them to give leadership and service as responsible citizens of the world. We wish the girls and guiders a very special Thinking Day and Guide Scout Week. Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review coming up after this.
Participaction wants you to know excess weight is a serious health risk. Sandra has fought the weight battle.
All my life I did the yo-yo thing, really.
Today, she's succeeding with a winning formula.
Keep on your diet, do your exercise program, and be easy on yourself.
Dr. David Lau.
Physical activity has tremendous payoffs. The self-confidence, improved longevity.
It's like a freedom for me.
Take your first step with Participaction.
The ACW and Altergale hosted a Valentine party for the residents of the Calder Health Care Centre on Monday of this week. A large number of ladies gathered in the sitting room at the Calder Health Care Centre to help the residents celebrate Valentine's Day. Two local musicians, Henry Young and Norm Parsons, played a variety of music for the residents to enjoy. Some residents sang along and others tapped their feet. Some of the ladies couldn't resist the music and had to have a step dance. Of course, there was a lunch for later in the evening. I spoke to Jessie Skidder later on Monday, and she said everyone had a grand time.
On her face there was beauty, every tear to see. In her eyes there was someone she loved more than me. In her mind was a vision, so bright and clear. When I finally realized I went home with the scent of the rose in her hair.
On Monday of this week, we went to take a look at the snow sculptures Mr. Sandy Anderson had near his house. The sculptures were very noticeable from the road, and Mr. Anderson informed us that he has had quite a few visitors. This was a family project and done mostly because of his granddaughter, Kelsey Krant. She was the one who decided she wanted an elephant, which is her favorite. The two-headed monster is a character from the TV program Dragon Tales. This character is called Wheezy and Zack. Of course, the moose was Sandy's idea. We would like to thank Mr. Anderson for allowing us to come and film this work of art. They certainly did a fantastic job. Teacher Appreciation Week was a huge success. All during the week, parents took snacks to both schools for the teachers to enjoy during recess. As one teacher said, it was Fatten Up the Teacher Week. At the elementary school, the students drew pictures and can be seen all over town in different businesses. On Friday, the teachers and staff at A.J. Matthews had a cold plate buffet supper held in their honor. We hope all the teachers and staff at both schools had a great week, and thanks to all the parents for taking snacks to the teachers and staff at both schools. Over the next couple of weeks, CBC News will be airing a short series called The Newfoundland Connection. Reporter Tony Dawson will be talking to Newfoundland peacekeepers in Kosovo. And Stephen Pink from Burgeo was one of the peacekeepers to be interviewed. We thought you might find this interesting. Now over to Deputy Mayor Barbara Barter with the Council report.
Good evening. The regular meeting of the Burgeo Town Council was held on Wednesday, February 16th, the year 2000. The following issues were discussed. Fish plant situation. A letter has been sent to the Federal Minister of Fisheries and all other officials involved. A forum is being set up in Burgeo consisting of representatives from the 3 fishing towns of Burgeo, Ramea, and Galtas, and all other players involved with any decisions regarding the future of those 3 towns. Number 2, the town has made arrangements for the Department of Environment to have the water supply tested for THMs 4 times per year. Number 3, a total of 28 people contacted the town office either by phone or in person to voice their concerns regarding the arena. Out of those 28 people, 21 were in favor of an arena, 7 were in opposition. If we include the people who have either gone to town office or have met with a councillor or a Recreation Commission representative, together to date we've had 48 in support of the arena, 8 against, and 2 undecided. And on the phone-in last Sunday night, we suggested that we would leave a breathing space until February the 21st to give citizens in the community an opportunity to write the town anonymously. We have had one anonymous letter which came in, drop in and visit the town office, that has happened as well, or to telephone. And all you need to say is that you are for or you are against, or you're undecided. You don't have to give any reasons. We encourage the people of Burgeo to do that because if we're sensing a strong opposition, then the town and the Recreation Commission will make no further efforts in trying to seek funding from government agencies to place the arena in the community. If, on the other hand, we sense that there is support in the community, then we will go ahead as indicated last Sunday night through our presentation. Fourthly, a committee has been set up and preparations are now being made for the 50th anniversary celebrations of the incorporation of the town of Burgeo. And as we progress with that, the community will be notified. A report was received on the town's involvement in the Tiny Towns competition. I remind viewers that for the last couple of years we have been entering into the Tiny Town competition. Basically, it's a focus, I guess, on tidiness, natural beauty, and community involvement. It's a competition that helps focus and activate a community sense of civic pride. And similar programs have demonstrated across Canada and in Europe such act of civic pride can create business opportunities in recycling, waste management, gardening, and tourism. So the last 2 or 3 years we have entered and have had judges come to the community and evaluate us and then give a report. On the report last year, we were noted for our picturesque coves and bays, and out of a total of possible 5 picture plants that you could get on your certificate, Burgeo received 4. So the winning town received 5, and when you look at our 4, then that puts us in a pretty good position as a community. So we have been recognized. The report also outlined the town's strong points as well as the weak points, and what I will do is just go down through the recommendations that was made by that committee after they visited our town. Recommendations to be made. The business people of Burgeo should capitalize on the ferry passengers who wait for or get off of the Ramea ferry. The town should view the ferry terminal as a face of the community and should take special care to keep the area hospitable and attractive. For example, a washroom, refuge container, information about the town and the park should be situated in that area. Secondly, Burgeo has several islands that were connected by infilling causeways and bridges. This makes for an interesting, if not confusing, layout. The panoramic view from Maiden Tee Lookout is one place that visitors could easily come to understand the natural and human history. The town should maintain the lookout and add parking and a map, similar to the one in the town brochure. The lookout should also be featured in town promotional materials. Thirdly, the picturesque bays of Burgeo are an artist's delight that could make the community a special destination. The town should develop a strategy to encourage local people to paint some of the fishing stages and buildings that may be in disrepair to increase the interest for artists and photographers. The Burgeo Museum is full of artifacts and pictures. The town should make sure that these items are kept clean and protected from further deterioration. Typically, a town will place a sign at the point where motorists cross the municipal boundary. In Burgeo, the community has a geographic point of entry, a causeway, because the town is actually an island. Burgeo should design a gateway or entrance feature at the causeway to show that visitors have now entered an island. A large display map is one way to orient visitors. There is a brochure at the town office, and also the Tidy Towns Newfoundland Labrador 1999 evaluation is at the town office. If any group or individual would like to go in and see those or take a part in the competition, then just drop into town office and make your wishes known. Council has received a resignation from Mr. Blaine Marks due to his working out of town. A by-election will be called in the very near future. So if you would like to get involved with the affairs of the town, now is your chance. Anyone who is interested in having input in the running, the operations, and say of municipal affairs in the town, within the very near future, we will be calling a by-election, and we encourage you to participate. The Millennium Coin will be presented to Burgeo's newest resident, the daughter of Terry and Linda McDonald. That coin will be presented at a time that is convenient to the parents, and the community will be notified of that once the town is notified. Those were the topics covered at our February 16th meeting. Thank you and good evening.
Stay with us for Off the Rack, the community events, and the BBS Playbill, all after this.
Participaction wants you to know excess weight is a serious health risk. Dr. David Lau.
The more overweight you are, the more likely your lifespan is shortened.
These people have never met each other, yet they share a common challenge.
You start going through the dieting game, and I would lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight.
I can't pass a pastry display without, oh geez, I'd love to have one of those.
Excess weight contributes to heart disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure. Sandra and Dave are succeeding by reducing their weight.
So we think more about if we want to enjoy the next 20 years, what is it that we have to do?
They're taking the first steps, getting active, making healthy food choices, and talking to their doctor.
We do live longer if we engage in regular physical activity.
It's like a freedom for me. When you feel good about yourself, everything in your life seems better. Probably it's the greatest benefit of all.
Take your first step with Participaction.
Off the Rack. This week, as we scanned our tape rack, we came across a tape of this year's graduating class taking part in the annual Christmas concert at A.J. Matthews Elementary School. Let's look back to Christmas 1988.
Tiptoe, tiptoe, softly go. Santa's reindeer's in the snow. Tiptoe, I must see what them Santa's got for me. Tiptoe, tiptoe, out of bed. After the night critter fed, tiptoe so no one will hear, and they go to bed now, dear. Tiptoe, tiptoe, Christmas night is just full of candlelight, and stars shine clear and bright over snow so soft and white. Tiptoe, tiptoe, gently creep, 'cause I am supposed to be asleep, but my eyes are open wide. Maybe I had better eyes.
Good evening and welcome to the community events segment of tonight's broadcast. I'm Jennifer Marks. The list of minor hockey pool winners is getting longer as time goes on. Why not try to have your name added to the list and support the Burgeo Minor Hockey Pool at the same time? Cards are $1 each and can be picked up from Jim and Ruth Tucker, Kenny Errett, the Men's Sunday Night Dart League, and from most stores around town. Remember to get your cards in by Thursdays of each week. Join the fun and play pool, and you could win a lot of money. The residents of the Burgeo Seniors Complex wishes to advise snowmobilers to refrain from riding their snowmobiles along grounds in back of the building. The winners of the Brunettes TV Bingo were Roxanne Bond and Alice Rimmel. Congratulations. The A.J. Matthews School Council will be hosting the next scheduled TV Bingo on Wednesday, February 23rd at 7 p.m. Cards are $1 each or 6 for $5 and are available from any student at the elementary school or are in most stores around town. The Guide Scout Rally to celebrate the founder's birthday will be held on Tuesday, February 22nd at 6:30 p.m. in the parish hall. Girls are reminded to bring their mug and a loonie. Come along for games, songs, lunch, and loads of fun. The ACW will be hosting a potluck supper on Thursday, February 24th, starting at 5 p.m. in the parish hall. Supper for adults costs $5 and it is $3.50 for children under the age of 12. Come along to the parish hall for a wide variety of dishes and desserts. The ACW will be happy to serve you. If your group or organization has an upcoming event plan, we will be happy to broadcast it for you. Just call the BBS office by Wednesdays of each week to have items included in this portion of our broadcast. That concludes the community events segment of tonight's podcast. See you next week.
BBS Playbill. Join us on Monday for the Fishery Now Series number 9. Tune in on Tuesday for a rebroadcast of Pansy's Garden. Try your luck on Wednesday by playing A.J. Matthews School Council TV Bingo. Following the bingo, we will have a video entitled Don't Go Blocking Your Heart. Tune in on Thursday when we'll have number 10 video in the Fishery Now series. Join Pans and the gang for 2 stories, a craft, and lots of fun on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on Pansy's Garden. Next Sunday at 6:30 p.m. we will have the worship service from the Anglican Church. We would like to remind our viewers that the Lions Winter Carnival officially started today. We encourage everyone to get out and participate in the activities they have planned, and we will bring you highlights from the Winter Carnival on next week's news broadcast. And I'll be here again next week with This Week in Review. For This Week in Review, I'm Marie Rose. Good night.